In this video, we're going to discuss the exclusive sale and listing agreement, and there has been some changes made to this form. So this was updated February of this year. So just wanted to go through it. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to reach out. This part's pretty self-explanatory. Seller would be you. This would be me, Real Broker LLC, and then this is your property address. The term we would discuss, it's typically 90 to 120 days, depending on how quickly the market is moving. This states the agency, which means that I'm representing you and you appoint me as Leanna Young as your broker. Limited dual agency, again, this just means that I become the facilitator of information, and we would definitely have some discussions if this was going to happen, but I would need your initials here if I was able to perform it as a dual agent. This just talks about the listing date, so we'd pick what date we wanted to go live, and it says firm shall submit this listing, including the property's information on the attached listing input sheets, and photographs, images, videos, and visual tours, virtual tours, drawings, renderings, sketches, floor plans, and other representations of the property to be published on the MLS on this specific date. So in Washington, we're not allowed to do anything like coming soon. So basically, we are not allowed to do anything until it's actually listed on the NWMLS. Compensation, this is an interesting one that has changed. So basically, you and I would agree to what compensation I was going to charge. And I don't know if many of you know, but I do have different packages that I offer. Depending on the package you choose, that number would go here, anywhere from 1.5% to 2.5%. And then this states if the buyer is not represented by a buyer brokerage firm, the listing firm compensation shall be a different percentage. So basically what I do is still give a discount. Let's say if we're offering, let's say we're offering 2.5% it to a buyer broker, we would reduce that down, by like 1%, basically. So this is your option here too. So seller's offer of compensation. So as I previously mentioned, if you were offering 2.5%, that would go here. But it's really up to you, and the state of Washington has made it very clear that is your decision on how you want to do this. But if you decide that you want buyers to request the compensation, you can check this box here, which means that basically they would submit what compensation they had agreed to with their buyer on that buyer broker agreement. So if you haven't watched that video, I'd encourage you to go back and watch that because it really explains a lot about why we have a buyer brokerage agreement and how these will play into what the buyer's agent will be requesting from you as the seller. So you also have the option to put no offer of compensation, which means that technically you're going to be advertising as 0% offering for the buyer's agent commission, but it doesn't stop the buyer's agent from actually asking for compensation. So that is kind of the most important changes of this document here. But of course, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. But that is kind of the major changes with the commission. So hope everyone's having a great day.